Okay, we're back. The Wi-Fi isn't nice to me, so I had to connect to my mobile data. I have a feeling I will have to do that a lot. So, be patient with me, and please. Anyway, let's continue. Meanwhile, the necklace is a strip of pearls with a ruby amulet on it. It's so very dazzling to gaze upon. It's like looking at the very definition of opulence. And lastly, the earrings are a drop pair with a Victorian love knot at the base, with an opal centerpiece and a yellow tinted green sapphire at the bottom.
Do not hesitate, dear. Choose whichever your heart desires.
I really just cut it off.
Do not hesitate, dear. Choose whichever your heart desires.
They're also gorgeous. Can't possibly choose. Nevertheless, I reach out, gravitating towards them. Necklace. The necklace is heavy in my hands as I gently pick it up. Boy, bet I can pay off all my student loans and then some with this thing. I study it closer. It looks familiar.
Do you like it?
I do, but I think I've seen this before. Maybe from an old picture. Elias tilts his head.
It was one of my mother's favorite pieces in this collection. It's also the most expensive.
As he says this, it suddenly becomes even more heavy in my hands.
Here, allow me.
Elias takes the necklace and moves behind me. Could you tell me more about yourself, Elias? I'm curious to know as much as I can about my groom.
Of course.
His hands are cold against my skin and he slides the jewelry around my neck. He clasps it shut, hands lingering for a moment on my skin. He gives a tired sigh before speaking, a hint of melancholy lingering on his lips.
I must confess that I was born quite sickly, and my birth came with so many complications that it nearly killed my mother. Even after that ordeal, there was nothing the doctors could do to help my weak constitution. I suppose that's why my father and siblings treated me the way they did. I was seen as a nuisance, a problem. I don't entirely blame them.
I'm sorry.
It's far away and in the past now, so enough about that.
Elias moves back around to look at me, a cold, bristly hand trailing my cheek. The sadness from his voice has all but disappeared.
Marvelous. The necklace fits you perfectly.
I angle my head to get a clear view of it in the mirror. It certainly is gorgeous, but I know that I can get more information out of Elias if I play my cards right. My voice today. I'm certain this necklace must bestow infinite beauty upon its wearer. Surely you've seen others doing it before.
As I mentioned, this was my mother's favorite piece. It graced her neck quite frequently.
And what of your previous bride-to-be? Did she not wear this as well?
My previous bride.
The smile slips from his lips and his eyes go hazy. I brace myself for another vision. I feel bad. I know it's unpleasant for Elias as much as it is for me, but he's a key witness to the mystery of this matter. His whole life and death, as a matter of fact. The silence stretches on for what feels like forever. Elias's face is completely blank, devoid of any emotion. Elias, dearest, I meant no offense. Oh, my friend. It's not so great. Elias grips my shoulders, his fingers phasing through my skin, causing a shiver.
Her name was Violet, Violet DuPont, the sister of our groundskeeper. We never wed because she betrayed me the day before our wedding. I suppose she and Gerard were desperate. I should have been on my guard when they continued to ask me about the location of the family jewels day after day. I thought the necklace, the grandest piece in the collection, would have been enough to hold her interest. I had promised to share the rest of them with her after our consummation. But before I could even cry out for help, Gerard held me down while Violet...
Put my hand over Elias's in an attempt to show him that I do not need to hear anything else. Elias, forgive me, Elias. We don't need to speak of her anymore. Elias's grip on my shoulder eases and he gives me a sad smile.
No, you needn't apologize whatsoever. There's no need for me to reminisce, and you shouldn't have to compare yourself to her.
Yeah, well, I don't have to be compared to your murder, at least. That's what I'd like to say. And I want to stop, but I need to know the truth straight from the horse's mouth. Tell me the things that brought you joy to your life. You have a fine eye for beauty, Elias. I'm sure there are other items you hold precious and dear.
You've seen the greenhouse already, so you can imagine its splendor in full bloom. I quite liked reading on the bench there when my energy permitted. It was quite difficult to visit in a consistent manner, however, so I often had flowers brought up so that I could enjoy the fragrant floral bouquets in the comfort of my room.
Elias leaves my side momentarily to grab an ornate box from the
Aside from the flowers, there was also a family heirloom that belonged to my grandmother. It was an antique silver mirror, and a very charming one at that. At least,
I lean forward as he opens the box and peer into its contents.
that was before it shattered.
Elias does still have the mirror pieces.
I liked it quite a lot, and ended up taking it out of the attic in my early childhood. I used to look into it and imagine myself as some sort of fair prince. It was innocent daydreaming, but alas, my 6 older siblings would often mock my love of the mirror. And with such a weak constitution and gentle demeanor, there was little I could do. When 6 people who aren't very fond of you get physical, well, you can imagine what might happen. The mirror was shattered, and I was the one blamed.
Elias. He gently closes the box and pauses.
Grandmother didn't seem to mind that it broke, but I cried for days. Maybe it was sentimentality, guilt, or fear. But whatever the case, I simply could not let it go. I forbade any of the maids or butlers to toss out the shards. The mirror was meant to be a wedding gift, and I was determined to have it fixed one day.
It seems like the day never came.
Yes, it was one of my greatest regrets when I died, silly as it sounds.
I don't think it's silly. That mirror was important to you. You've held on to it all this time. I think it's admirable. Not to mention, that mirror could be very likely to be the source of the Gallagher curse. But does Elias know that?
Thank you for understanding, my dear.
The melancholy, holy atmosphere in the room fades as he smiles warmly at me.
I am quite eager for our union. I think it'll be something glorious. I've always wanted a grand wedding, and to think I'll be marrying someone as lovely as you.
Well, you're too kind, Elias.
Come, follow me outside. I have much to show you.
We exit his bedroom together and go down the stairs one last time. My new accessory adding weight to my every step.
Soon we shall be wed, my darling, and we'll have all of eternity together. Are you excited?
Elias sure seems to be. I don't know how to answer that. Whether I should be sincere and tell him the truth or continue the charade. The truth behind the so-called Gallagher curse wasn't some small business taking revenge on the family. Elias is pulling puppet strings in order to make himself sole heir. Sole heir? No, the Gallagher bloodline probably met its end because the antique mirror shattered when Elias was a child. He said that mirror was meant to be a wedding gift. But the curse ended. Will I die too? The thought made me shudder.
My love, what's on your mind?
Nothing, I mean... Ha! I really am a bad actor in the end. With everything that has happened, is about to happen. Oh, shit. It's about to happen. I must be feeling the entire range of human emotions. My beloved, nervous, excited, and so full of dread. We returned to the floor where this whole night began. Elias glides along this floor while I do my best to try and keep up, then trying not to arouse suspicion. He places his hand on the door behind the steps, then turns to me.
Are you ready, my love? I have worked tirelessly to prepare the old ballroom for our ceremony, and while we may not have any guests, I do hope that you will be pleased.
My voice is hoarse, so the words get lost in my throat. All I can do is smile and nod.
Excellent. Then without further ado...
The doors to the ballroom open wide, and Elias bids me through. I walk down a tattered red carpet through the dim, cavernous room towards the center, where extravagant dishes, aged bottles of wine, crystal glasses, silver cutlery, and finally our bouquet awaits us. No one is watching, and yet with each step I hear the echoes of whispers, murmurs, cheers, and sobs wherever my feet lifts from the floor. Are these memories of previous weddings Elias has attended, now recreated for his own? I wonder who will officiate. Elias must have some memory of a minister ready as well. I turn my head back and peer at the door, waiting for my groom. As he floats in, the noise grew more raucous, and the lights bloom in a pale blue light glow. My gaze is fixed on Elias. And turning passes in a simple second as he reaches the altar, beaming with endless pride. It's time. The crowd hushes down to a moment before pulsating into a single echoing voice.
Welcome all, family and friends. Thank you all for coming today to partake in this joyous occasion. Today we are gathered together to unite Elias Gallagher with his beloved.
I still can't take my eyes off my groom.
Long has he suffered, and now long shall he be overflowing with joy. Let the memories of betrayal, of murder, of waiting be washed away like leaves in a flood. Love has triumphed.
Oh my god. If this is what Elias is thinking.
Do you, Elias Gallagher, take this person to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to live together in matrimony, to love them, comfort them, honor and keep them, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold, from this day forward, now and for all time?
I do.
Do you, my dear, take Elias Gallagher to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold, from this day forward, now and for all time?
I. D-
Stop!
The slamming of ancient doors against the wall drawed out all the memories in the ballroom, and the illusions disappear without a trace.
Who?
Tyler! Aside from the angry echo of footsteps, there are only me, Elias, and a very, very sweaty Tyler in this otherwise empty sacket. I've never been so happy to smell as a attempt to mask the scent of sweat with pound cheek cologne.
That's right! This has to stop! You should have told Elias the truth ages ago. I should have told you the truth ages ago.
My dear, is this the spirit medium you were talking to?
It is. His name is Tyler. Tyler Potts. And.
Taylor, why do you interrupt our ceremony?
Or Taylor?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Eyes flash with frustration.
Oh, have I got some words for you, Gallagher? All of this?
Taylor gestures wildly around the empty room.
All of this is for nothing! This was a dumb attempt to find a ghost, and now I've put my best friend in extreme danger. They didn't actually believe anyone was here. In my heart, I didn't believe it either. I was desperate. But we did our homework and read that you were obsessed with romance. The idea of it, at least. They aren't actually in love with you, and have never been engaged to anyone before this. We went shopping for fancy clothes to trick you into appearing. So stop all of this. We're too young for marriage. We're both just college students, for goodness sake. We have our whole lives ahead of us.
Taylor's arms drop to his side as he takes a shaky breath.
Elias, you should be mad at me. I set them up to do all this. But I should have been the one here, not you.
I look between both the men standing in front of me. Taylor is out of breath while Elias can't find the words.
I think we should let OHSIC disband. We need to go home. It's over.
What? But... Taylor, don't make decisions for me.
My dear is right. They have been perfectly able to choose what they like. I provided plenty of opportunities and...
Yeah, and they were playing you.
Taylor's previous... Trevor gets a second wind. The sound of Elias's voice and he puffs his chest.
Our goal was to prove you exist. Now we have, and I regret it.
Taylor.
Besides, do you even realize what rushing into marriage does to people? What if it turns out that you two don't even like each other, or can't even stand being in the same room tomorrow? I don't know about you, Elias. There's only so many tabloids that we can salvage all the way back from like 100 years ago. But have you ever had to watch your parents fight with each other behind closed doors?
Elias cocks a brow in confusion. All I can do is stand there and listen, trembling.
Rushed Unhappy marriages lead to divorce. Maybe your parents got along fine. Maybe they didn't. But if this was a regular wedding between you and Bud, you'd be waving a red flag for the whole state to see. Mom and Dad tried so hard to pretend things were okay when I was growing up. But I wasn't stupid. I saw the exhaustion on their faces. I heard what they said to each other. No one deserves that.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't.
Besides, after all this, I realized I'm jealous.
Oh, all this time.
Wait, jealous of who?
Me, I assume. There's a rival suitor vying for your affections.
It's true. I think you're great, and I really, really like you.
Oh.
I've wanted to tell you that for some time. Since about the day we met, to be honest. But you were such a good friend. A kind friend who supported me in everything I did. But I was scared to lose that. I was scared to make everything too big. But I guess I found a different way to make everything too big tonight, huh?
What a charming and sad story, Taylor.
Much to my surprise, Elias's voice drips with empathy, his words genuine. Elias, you are...
How could I not be moved? But, my dear, I need you to tell me the truth. What did you come here for?
I came here to help Taylor fight a ghost. Ghost hunting group was in danger of closing. We decided to investigate this place. We knew people broke into this place pretty often, and no one ever actually claimed to see any ghosts, so we decided to do what we could do to make you appear. Nothing I told you about the previous wedding was true. I wasn't left at the altar. I was never even at the altar. I am just an ordinary university student trying to help a friend.
I see.
There it is. The truth is out. I suppose it had to happen sometime. If Elias could sink into the center of the earth, he probably would. The only thing keeping afloat is some sense of decorum.
But not all of this was a lie, was it? Your demeanor changed as we spent time together. You got to know me. You learned about the real me. And I think your heart opened.
Oh no, come on, don't do this. I get that you're lonely, but you're completely missing the point here.
Taylor, please. Where we go from here is up to them to decide.
Elias, first, I have a question for you.
Then I shall do my best to answer.
Do you know what caused the curse behind the death of your family?
I do not. No. None of the deaths were connected, at least not to my knowledge. And contrary to popular belief, I did not orchestrate those accidents. I'm not a cruel person, and I hope you can at least attest to that after tonight.
I never said that you were Elias, but Taylor and I have some theories.
We did?
I elbowed him in the side and rolled my eyes. Elias, I saw a glimpse into your past tonight. Whispers of memories that allow me to feel your emotions. And two things stood out to me. The first was Violet, and how easy you felt whenever she was around. Memories unfolding there leave me disoriented, scared for my life. The second was you yourself, talking about the shattered mirror with your father. The mention in the mirror, both the men fixed their posture. I felt your frustration like I was suffocating. I hated it. Breaking a mirror is bad luck in a lot of cultures. When you showed me the shadows in your room, you told me that all of your siblings blamed you for shattering.
Yes. I was simply admiring myself in the mirror's reflection when they came to snatch it out of my hands. I tried to keep it safe, as it belonged to my grandmother, but...
6 versus 1 isn't very fair. And your parents probably didn't side with you on this, did they?
Elias shakes his head, the gaze turning in his brain. In addition, that mirror was meant to be a wedding gift, wasn't it? It was never gifted to any of your siblings' spouses because it was broken, and your father didn't bother to repair it.
So then, the curse.
I think your strong feelings towards that mirror invariably caused your family to become cursed. That does make sense, right, Taylor?
Yeah, I guess that's enough of an explanation as any.
Then even my own death at the hands of the DuPonts was part of the curse's doing, just as I thought.
Actually, if we go by their explanation, I don't think Violet DuPont jamming a dagger into your neck was because of the curse. You two technically weren't even married yet, and that whole stabbity-stab thing was a textbook example of premeditated murder. You know, the opposite of a fatal accident. You were so desperate for love that you ignored your gut instinct about something feeling off with Violet the entire time.
Elias looks at his hands, then at the floor. Despondent and on the brink of tears.
I see. So if I were to carry on with the wedding and marry them, then they too would die of the curse. If that's the case, then I'll never have my wedding, even in death.
Renaissance Elias reaches his realization. I feel so bad, but I don't want to die for his sake.
Hang on. I think I have an idea.
About what?
If we're right about the mirror needing to fulfill its purpose as a wedding gift, then all Elias needs to do is give you the mirror after the ceremony.
I'm sorry? I go to Taylor and his sudden change of heart. I thought he didn't want me to marry Elias.
Elias, I'm really sorry for shouting at you when I burst in. I was venting about a lot of personal stuff that doesn't remotely involve you, and you didn't deserve that. And Bud, I never should have forced your hand into doing the field mission for me. At the very least, I should have come sooner to provide backup. But if you two trust me on this, and you're willing to try, everyone can have their happy ending. At least, I'm like 95% sure this will work.
But weren't you opposed to our union?
Maybe they did get to know you better tonight. I shouldn't tell them what decision to make. So, as you said, let them decide.
They both look at me expectantly. Elias, I love you as much as I could ever love a friend. It may not be the love you crave, but if you still have me, if it was to break the curse, to finally free your soul, I'll accept your hand. The groom's face alight with a sad smile.
Yes. I suppose your hand in marriage is all that I had asked of you when we first met. And so, I graciously accept this arrangement.
We both turn to face Taylor.
Do you take Elias Gallagher to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold, from this day forward, as long as you both shall exist on this plane of existence?
I do.
And do you, Elias, take them to be your lawfully wedded, yada yada, etc., as long as you both shall exist on this plane of existence?
Elias shoots Tyler a disappointed look through in the mood, sighing.
I do.
By the authority vested in me as the official president of the Occult History and Sciences Investigation Club, I now pronounce you married.
Taylor erupts into applause that echoes throughout the bar, accented by leftover spirits. Elias has summoned, while the man himself kisses me swiftly on the
And
cheek.
now, my dear, all that I possessed in my mortal years belongs to you.
It does?
Yes. Please come with me to the study. Quickly now.
We all collectively exit the parlor and follow Elias's lead to the study. Taylor lags behind a bit, but I pull at his sleeve before he falls behind and gets lost wandering the halls of the manor. Elias pulls out a paper from the drawer and clasps his hands together, causing it to glow with ghostly light.
Here we are. My will, freshly written. With this, the mirror has been transferred into your possession, my beloved.
Taylor and I scan the document.
I, Elias Gallagher, former head of the Gallagher estate, hereby leave all my material possessions, including the Gallagher family jewels and the manor itself, to my beloved partner. I mean, a will written by a ghost would never hold up in court, but for the sake of breaking the curse, I think this should work.
It will.
Elias floats away from us with a complacent smile on his face.
My wish for a wedding of my own has finally been fulfilled. And now, it is time for me to depart from this world.
Are you sure? But we just met! I never got the chance to really get to know you, and he holds a hand up to stop me.
I am an ancient relic of decades long since past. A memory of a life tethered to this land. But now that I am married to you, I am free.
Elias casts a sideways glance at Taylor.
Mr. Taylor Potts,
Yeah?
take good care of them in my stead. If you make them sad,
Elias's lips break into a sly smile.
I may come back to haunt you.
I plan on it. The, taking care of them part. Please don't haunt me.
Elias chuckles.
Very well.
Elias takes my hand one last time.
Live and prosper where I could not. Farewell, my love. May we meet again in heaven.
Goodbye, Elias Gallagher. Thank you for everything. With a final bow, Elias slowly fades from the room.
So, is your last name really gonna be Gallagher now?
Tyler, why do you always kill the mood? Taylor. After full 24 hours of uninterrupted sleep, Taylor looked up. Whether my surname actually was legally gonna be Gallagher now. Turns out that if both spouses didn't sign a marriage certificate, it can't be illegal on this day and age. So the last name thing doesn't actually matter. Hopefully Elias wasn't going to be mad about that. Dude, doctoring the will a little bit, we laid claim to the fortune left Gallagher Mansion, as it turns out they kept more than just the family jewels in there.
Holy cannoli, we're rich!
I'm rich, and I'm just redistributing the wealth to you.
Who cares about the details? We can repair the entire mansion and, like, actually live in it. And then we don't have to pay rent.
That's very true, actually. Damn. I married one ghost to inherit the estates. While we were so caught up in the legal matters that we forgot to recruit members for the OHSIC. Taylor and I would go on to clear Elias's name of any road some local legends. It only felt right after all they did for us. So we spent a small fortune of our new fortune repairing the mansion and the ancient antique mirror to its full glory, and spent the rest of our college days rent-free. Ending A. For the truth. Wow. Can't believe I've completed this already, and kind of sad that I was really enjoying it. But I mean, I can always play back on it and get a different ending. Thank you for being here, and thank you to amazing people that made this game. I really enjoyed it. I'll let the credits roll. That was pretty fun. I might redo the first half. If people want like a full play of it. And that anyway, I guess. Thanks for joining me.